Hello everyone and welcome back to the Absolute FM show, your weekly podcast for everything Football Manager. My name's Moochy and I'm joined as always by my co-host Kylex. Kylex, how's it going, my man?
What's up, guys? How you doing, Moochy?
I'm very well, thank you. And for anybody watching the video on YouTube, you will see that we're joined, not as always, but for the first time ever, we have Kegman on the show. Kegman, how are you?
Dandy, yeah. And a little bit Beano too.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have a third voice on the channel, and what we'll do is obviously we'll get into your content and all the good stuff we've got lined up shortly. What I wanted to do first of all, though, chaps, is talk a bit of news. Of course, this week we've seen that Sports Interactive have announced that VAR will be coming into the game from the 1920 season into the Premier League after we of course voted it into this country. What are your thoughts?
Well,
go on, Kegman, go first.
Well, it's a little, I suppose in some ways it's good. It is again a representative of reality. It's something that's there in football in real life, but at the same time it's probably a little bit annoying for the creators to restart their saves.
Yeah, good point.
Not going to be there.
Very good point. Yeah, of course, because they've said that you need to make a new save or start again if you want it to be actually in the English leagues, which, yeah, that is a bit annoying, I would agree. But I think there was something to do with the size of the patch or the file. It was too big to just patch it into the game or something.
Yeah, but surely when you start it again, you're going to go back into 2018 again, aren't you? So you're not going to be in 2020 anymore.
No, you just got to start, yeah. You have to start from scratch as if... So if you've already started your long-term save...
So tough. Is that from now on? Like, so if I start a save now, then as soon as it hits 2020, the VAR will be on. Is that basically what they're saying? Because I don't really understand it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Effectively, and it's... Because you start the game in 18-19, so in your second season, you will have VAR in the Premier League.
Yeah. Well,
interesting.
I've already spoken about my thoughts on the VAR in a previous episode, but like Kegman said, it's all about realism and all that. So it will be interesting to see, because I've not really had any sort of part in the VAR with the saves I do at the minute. There's not really any VAR in them, so it'll just be a new set of replays and some pointless. Animation.
Everything pointless. Yeah. Everything. I've turned the damn thing off. What are you doing in your main save, Kegman? Are you in a country that has VAR?
So I mean, I had a VAR incident. I say incident. It was a VAR decision in the Inter Miami stream I've started doing, and basically someone went down for a penalty, and it took forever for the referee to run to the middle line. It was a bit weird. It was kind of like watching, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm going to show how sad I'm here. I do like a bit of Pokemon still, I won't lie. And the animation for that is they'll run in the line, and then they'll stop and they'll turn, and then they'll run. And the animation for the referee running to the line, he took like a really weird diagonal line and then started following it. It was like a bell curve, as opposed to running straight for. It was almost like he was aiming for the touchline.
I've seen it. I've seen it on saves where and it's just like he runs to the centre circle, and then rather than just go from where he is all the way to the tunnel, it always seems to go to the circle first. It's just waste time, and that's the I think that's what a lot of people have got the main problem with. I mean, it's just all that time wasted for.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest issue with VAR in football is that they've seen what rugby is doing, and then they've done it wrong. So with decisions in rugby, it's obviously when they've got the decisions there, it comes up on the big screen. Everyone can see it. That's the first thing. Everyone can see it. They can go, right, okay, what's happening here? And right, the referee's done it for that reason. He hasn't got to run anywhere. He's not sat in a little box with a private TV, probably watching a bit of porn. And it's there. Everyone can see it. He doesn't have to run away. It doesn't take 5-10 minutes. All it is just looks up there. He consults with someone. What do you reckon? Well, it could go either way. That's down to you. Right, yeah, it probably was a foul. It's a lot simpler. It's a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well is as we've touched on before, the game itself has to deliberately make the mistake in order to rectify the mistake, it's deliberately made. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like in real life. Obviously, it's not a sort of video that's already predetermined. You know, whenever you have your highlights in game, they're predetermined, aren't they? They're recordings that have been done already. That's why, you know. So it's like that's why it's pointless. But in a game, obviously, it's not predetermined, so it's like it does have to, you know, take place. But with the way it is in the game, it just seems a little bit pointless. But again, it's with the realism, and FM has always sort of strived to be as real as possible and have as much, you know, real stuff in it. So I get where they're coming from. It's just not for me.
I think they've done very, very well to jump on this and react so quickly. Whether you like it or not, the fact that immediately as that decision went live, I mean, I suppose the vote I don't know whether the vote was predated, as in, did we know that there was going to be a vote on VAR? I don't know whether they were prepared for that, in which case they've just kind of got it ready to go and then just patch it out. But I think it's good of them to get there. But also, I mean, they could easily have just waited till next game. They could have just said, right, next game it comes out and VAR's bang straight away, because that is, in reality, the season that we're going to get it in real life. But I think they've done well.
And it is. I mean, they're not forced to do it. It's not like there's another game that might do it first. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't even know if FIFA. I don't play FIFA, so I don't know. Maybe it does have it, but you know, I don't think even FIFA has it, does it? So it's like, you know, they're actually doing it for the realism, which is good. Because they haven't got any competitors going, well, you know, we beat you to that. You know, you're just, you know, joining in with everyone else. Like, it literally is. We've done it because we want this game to be as real as possible.
But by that same token, there's other things they could have focused on. So, I mean, they've spent time making the patch. And don't get me wrong, massively appreciative, obviously, if you want the realism. But at the same time... Well... But I mean, realistically, I mean, not just connectivity issues and maybe having servers set up for it so people actually use it, but things like how often do you see a striker clear through and goal, smash the ball straight at a goalkeeper? It's not going to, especially when they've got the traits like, for example, places shots.
Or a player. Yeah. Or a player right in front of them.
Yeah. Doesn't mean goalkeeping decisions. Even then, they've got better, but there are still massive issues, and it may be. I don't know, AI issues involved with that, but I think most people would rather see that patched and fixed than, say, VAR. It may be a bigger job, but
I think you're probably right. I think it is a bigger job, because I would imagine that this is already done and the game is released with its... Yeah, it's released and the match engine is what it is, and so to change all the ridiculous things that we've already seen would take a whole big thing that they're going to have to get to, whereas VAR's done. It's just whether or not they release it in a patch or not.
Well, it's not like it's a big job to do the VAR, is it? Because again, we've said it before, but it's just an animation. Like, the replays are the replays. They already have replays in the game, so it is literally just that referee animation, and that's you know, that's been it from day one. Whether that's been added to the Premier League or not is irrelevant. All they're doing then is just saying, right, well, we'll put this that we've already got in the game in certain leagues into the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, so it, like you said, it is already done. It's not like they're actually adding anything to the game.
Yeah. I think the thing that bothers me the most about it is, and we said it already, is just how much of a time waste it is and how annoying it is. Like, it's, if you manage to make what would be like a 5-second animation annoying, then something's not gone well. And we don't need to see the referee making his ridiculous line to the video. Just say, like, VAR decision or something, and replay it. And I don't know, we don't need to see the whole animation. Fine, VAR's in the game. Fine, we're going to get decisions that go one way or the other. And fine, we're going to get, you know, you win some, you lose some. But I don't think we all need to stop and watch the referee run away and then run back for things like, I had it in a cup game whereby it was a free kick outside of the box by the corner flag. You couldn't tell whether or not he'd given the free kick or not. All of a sudden, play stopped and he ran away, and then he came back and we had a free kick. It just seems, I don't know. I'm sure, like anything, it's a brand new feature, and there's going to be gremlins in the system. But
I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but is there an option to turn it off? I mean, I'm about to fire up Football Manager to have a look. But if there's the option to turn it off for people who don't want it, then
yeah, I mean, there is. Moochy got told how to do it, so he's turned it off.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Kylex is right. You can now. When you're in game and you've got the, you're selecting how quick you want your replays, or what you want the match speed to be like, or whether you want key or extended highlights. Within that box in the top right hand corner of the match, there's options to say, I don't want to see replays for this, that, and the other.
Right. That's in the preferences, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've turned that in game. That is though, so I've turned it off, so I don't see any more of those balls that didn't cross the line, and then you see them
replays.
You then see them not crossing the line again, or replays where you have those red and the yellow line to show that he wasn't offside. We've been here before, but the whole issue I have with it is I've never once seen that happen and a decision has been overturned. So I've never scored and then it been turned away because actually he was offside, or we've not played on and then we go back to see that actually the ball did cross the line. The VAR has always been a confirmation of what then has gone on to happen, and I think it would just add a lot more drama if it was in the game to actually change something.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, as you say, it's a predetermined outcome anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know they said they don't want any falsities in it. So if it's an offside in game, it's genuinely an offside. It's not it was close. But maybe, I don't know how difficult it would be to code in. I'm not a coder. But maybe some of those there, to add a little bit of realism, would then make VAR like something that's worth having in the game. Because as it stands, like you say, it's just fluff. It's just fluff.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And almost they don't make mistakes. Just get VAR to show that it was. For example, the ball has crossed the line. So rather than it not being a goal when it should have been, make the referee not give the goal, but then have VAR actually give the goal. So they're not doing anything different. It's just it's allowing the game to get to the right result that it wanted to get to. I don't know. I'm sure next season or next edition it will be a lot more refined.
Beg to differ, but yeah.
we can but hope.
Played it for long enough.
Yeah, indeed. So now it's time for our Creator of the Week, and because we've got Kegman here this week, I wanted to give him the opportunity to showcase some of his content and talk about him in a bit more detail. So Kegman, can you remember what the first Football Manager game was that you got into?
Well, we're talking about the franchise or just in general, because I remember having Premier Manager 98 on the PlayStation as a kid.
Was that your first kind of introduction into management simulations?
I reckon so. Yeah, I mean, I can remember a lot about that game. I played that to the excess. So one of the first things we still do at any club now on Football Manager, especially if you're a smaller club, is set up big money friendlies. And I remember that you had the option to set up 4 friendlies, and you'd always play against Juventus. You would always pick Juventus, and you'd get like stupid money in the bank, and you have the option to give the players a house and car. That would be one of the signing on options. So you'd always buy like Aitor Karanka, people like that, because they were really good. And if you gave them a house and car, they were like, yeah, all right, I'll come. I'll come and join Wigan in 1998.
I remember that. Yeah, 98 was a good game for kind of like the kickoff for the franchise for the management sims, wasn't it? Because there was the other one, Ultimate Soccer Manager USM 98. That was another really, really good one, and I think that's the first year that there was a few games out that were pushing the Football Manager sort of startup.
I mean, I'd agree. I mean, I think probably the first in-depth, because Premier Manager 98 was fairly basic. It was one of the first. Well, I'd say it's one of the first of its types. It was one of the first on console, Obviously, Championship Manager's been going since, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s, if I remember off the top of my head. I think the first time I got involved with Championship Manager was probably either 2000, 2001 or 2001, 2002. You'd have like the legends like Kennedy Bakircioglu and Kim Kallstrom and Jan Christensen to Madeira, people you could just sign ridiculously cheap. But I think the first game that really properly got me into it, because as a kid I didn't really have a PC, but I did have consoles, was LMA Manager. LMA Manager was fantastic.
What an absolute, yeah.
I mean, it's I know it's not the realism, but something I kind of miss in the modern football management games is the ability to sort of look at your stadium and go, right, we're going to upgrade this bit and design how it looks. I know that's not what management does, but it's having those little personal touches.
It was a fun little sideshow, wasn't it? Doing like you said, giving it personal touches to sort of, your own taste rather than. Although to be fair, the stadium always used to look the same, didn't it? You used to build it up and it used to be the circular. So like, even though you're talking about giving it the same touches, when you'd finish building it, every stadium in the whole game looked the same. Like everyone's stadium, it was all about joining them corners because they were square originally, and then they become circular or oval. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
It was great. It was great. Like you say, everyone done the same thing. I think, obviously, if you're getting involved and it was your own personal save, I think everyone signed Bobby Zamora because for some reason he was a legend in that game. But I mean, I miss LMA Manager. I've tweeted LMA several times saying, "Look, come on, do another one." Do it.
Yeah, they should do another one because there's no real good manager games on console anymore since Football Manager took it off. The Championship Manager never really went console, did it?
No, I don't.
Football Manager was console, but then it stopped in 2008. Was it the last one?
It was quite early.
Yeah.
Well, we've got you got your tablets and stuff now, haven't you? So I guess like that space has changed dramatically. Like consoles are what they are, but back when we were
I
kids,
would still play LMA. LMA on the Xbox. I think it's a more streamlined version as well, isn't it? Like, I'd say even if they just Football Manager decided, all right, well, we'll put touch on the Xbox and the PlayStation. I think people would still buy it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I understand the reason they, as far as I know, the reason they stopped doing it on the console is because it became too big. Size-wise, it became too big really to. But surely the new gen consoles can handle.
Yeah,
you mean
a stripped down version?
So?
If you can get it on a tablet, a stripped down version, you can get it on a console. Like that's. There's no doubt.
You can get it on your phone.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to, I've got an Android. If I really wanted to, this phone is powerful enough to run FM Touch on it as opposed to FM Mobile. So if I really wanted to, I could do that. The processing power in a PS4 or an Xbox far strips out my Huawei P20. The way I even pronounce the fucking word, I don't know.
It's an interesting. Do you know what? It's quite an interesting point. I just wanted to pick back up on the stadium thing because, of course, we all accept that it's called Football Manager, and the manager doesn't have any say on the stadium necessarily. But of course, as you get into the bigger clubs and you have a great reputation, I'm sure there may be some kind of consultation. But in so much as there are so many facets of the game that people don't touch, I think I saw FM Base run a poll, and it was something about training and how many people leave it to their assistant manager. And the result of the poll was that 81% of people leave the new training to the assistant manager. So much effort has gone into that, yet the vast majority of players don't touch it. So if you want to have the added option of, maybe you can expand the stadium or change it and make it look how you want, it's there if you want to use it. If not, in your staff preferences, you can just have stadium expansion and just tick it to leave it to the board or something, or you could untick it and get involved if you wished. I don't know, like there's something there, and the more the game offers you, I don't see that being a bad thing.
I think it just comes down to like graphics then though, doesn't it? They've got to add more graphics into the game, but maybe they could figure out a way of a third party doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously you've got people doing the skins and the kits and the badges and all that sort of stuff. So a stand probably wouldn't be that hard to do it once people got used to it and knew what they were doing.
Well, the graphics already exist because as you go from non-league to Premier League, your stadium expands around you. So those stadiums, or you move stadiums, it's all there. It's just having access to it, I suppose. But anyway, I feel we've somewhat digressed. So let's get back to talking about Kegman, shall we? Not what is or isn't in the game. So Kegman, what, if you can even remember now, but what got you into creating content?
Well, I think it was more a case of I don't know. I was bored basically, and I was looking around YouTube, and I was trying to watch like videos. Just there were certain things that made me laugh, and I started playing Football Manager again, and I was like, I had a bit of difficulty with a couple of things. I think this was back in 2017, March 2017. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go on YouTube, and started looking at a couple of videos just to get a kind of idea of maybe how to build a tactic, for example. It's been a while. I think I took a few years out of the game. So I was like, right, okay, so we've got new roles, we've got new ways to set up tactics, and I just stumbled across a couple of creators, and I was sort of like looking at them, and I'm like, you know what, this looks like it could be fun. And at the end of the day, I'm playing these games anyway. I'm divulging a lot of time and effort into playing these games, and I'm sitting there like, it's a solo player game, but I would like to share, what I'm doing. So I remember sort of stumbling across, obviously, everyone knows Loki Doki, everyone knows the success of his Journeyman saves, everyone knows about his recent ramble regarding the success of his Journeyman saves, but I sort of looked at that and I'm like, you know what, that looks fun, that just looks fun. So I started up a Journeyman save. That was one of the first things I think I did on my channel, was starting up my Journeyman save, and honestly, it was great. And just pushed on from there.
What I found interesting as well, something I learnt about Kegman today, because we played our bid stacker FM19 Cup game. He doesn't support a football team.
Really?
Nah. So I mean, right. So I grew up in Colchester, so.
So there's no team worth supporting.
The end.
Colchester
The
United
end.
have
That's
like 5 fans. There's actually quite. I say it's a famous story. It's not. My mum likes to regale a story of the time we walked into WH Smith, and the Colchester United team were there doing signings, and I was wearing a Liverpool shirt at the time. They're like, "Would you like us to sign something for you?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm a Liverpool fan." Because at the time, I was a Liverpool fan. I must have been like, I was maybe 8. It was back in the day when like Robbie Fowler and Ian Rush were about, Roy Evans was
good
the
times.
manager. It's sort of like just after they'd stopped having success, and I think I must have been about 13, 14. I just not so much fell out of love with football. I just stopped having
an affiliation.
Yeah, I started getting more into rugby. That was my sport. I played rugby.
Stop, get him off.
Yeah.
Egg chaser.
What's that word? What is that word? I don't know.
I thought we said we're going to keep it clean on this show.
If there's any help, its full name is rugby football.
Okay.
But yeah, I started getting
Good
more
save.
into rugby. I kept playing football management games. Still enjoyed watching football. I still watch football now. I mean, I'd rather go to. I think the last sort of big game I went to, I'll say big game, was probably, I don't know. It was an Ipswich big game at Ipswich. It was probably the last time Ipswich were in the Premier League. That's the last time I went to a big game. I've been to a couple of non-league games recently. I do have a non-league team literally round the corner from me here in Ipswich, and I am intending to go there and experience that.
Is that not actually Ipswich?
At the current rate, probably. I mean, not being funny, from a traffic standpoint, I would love that, because it would definitely kill traffic in this town, and it's a nightmare. But no, I've got. There is in Ipswich. You've got obviously Ipswich Town. You've then got Ipswich Wanderers, and the club near me is Whitton United. Literally, I could walk out of my house 2 minutes down the road. I'd be there.
That's awesome.
I was going to do a save for them, a lower league management save with them this year, but I couldn't. I wanted to try and get them involved, but they just, I don't know. The media guy for them just didn't seem that interested, and by that I mean he didn't respond at all. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll do a journeyman then, bollocks. I'll just do another
Next
journeyman.
time.
So yeah.
Well, Kylex and I both love our non-league.
Yeah.
We both have our local sides, and that's what we're going to be doing for our main saves. So, from someone who we both go and watch non-league football, and aside from watching my own team play, it's amazing. Like, it's such a good, watching football with like 25 people. You can hear the noise from the play. It's just something completely different.
Yeah.
I love it, and I definitely recommend taking that 2-3 minute walk and just going down one Saturday.
Well, I mean,
Definitely.
The last non-league game that I went to was about how long was it? About 2 years ago, but maybe a little bit longer. I went down to see Malden Swifts. Malden is just outside of it's kind of halfway between Chelmsford and Colchester, and they've got a star player. Well, they did have a star player, Ollie Mers, and he was playing on the ground. And obviously, he was getting reaction from the local ladies as he would. And at one point, I was within punching distance of him, so that was pretty handy. Obviously, didn't react. I would have got murdered. But
Hold yourself back.
yeah. Nah, to be fair to him, he's actually quite a good bloke. He was there afterwards. He was chatting to a lot of people and just generally being a nice guy. I can't knock him. Not a fan of his music, but as a bloke,
Indeed.
top guy.
He owns a non-league club now, doesn't he?
I think it might be more.
Ollie Mers. It might be. I was speaking to
some
guy who says he's like the I've got him on Twitter. He's like the media guy. And he does all the websites and all that.
That's one of those really interesting claim to fames. Like, what's your claim to fame? Well, I was once within punching distance of Ollie Mers. Like that.
I'm very, when I say very, very loosely related to Terry Butcher, I mean very loosely. In that
that you were a baker once.
yeah. And we also had a friend who was a candlestick maker. Yeah. But, no, he
got on a boat and made a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, no, he's married to my my now deceased granddad's niece, I think, something like that. So when I say loosely, I mean fucking loosely.
That's quite loosely, but it's more related to him than any of us two are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valley Swifts is the team he played for, not Malden Swifts. That's what I played for.
Interesting. But that's the kind of random stuff that you get to see when you go to non-league football.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Robbie Williams plays for a non-league team as well, if I remember rightly.
Well, given the crowds at my local non-league side, he definitely doesn't play for us. I can. Just very quickly, the last time I went to watch us play, I say us, it's Whiteleaf is the club, and it was absolutely freezing. We're going on Tuesday, so it's going to be even colder. But we went on a Tuesday. And it was after work. There wasn't a great crowd, but it was cold. And having previously bought my shirt at the club shop, I went round the corner and I said to the guy on the turnstile, can I get into the shop? I need a scarf. It's freezing. And he said, well, we're not opening it tonight because the turnout's going to be so low.
See, that's quite interesting because the team who I am on my save and the team that I go and watch, I'm going tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday. They've actually got the best attendance in their league. They're the best supported club in their league. I
saw that.
They've also got more fans than some Vanarama North and South teams.
Well, they've got more fans than Colchester United in their League One. So but in League Two, I can't remember now. Is it League Two? That is League Two, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. They average over 400 a game on
That's
average.
Pretty good, to be fair.
For a non-league club, yeah, it is pretty good. Like,
what do you pay a ticket? Is it £10?
£8 a ticket, and you
see that's good. That's
yeah,
good. We pay tenner a ticket.
That's more than Preyence again.
and they play in the Europa League.
That's your challenge, right? So that takes us nicely, or a nice segue into what one of the main reasons we've got you on, Kegman. Obviously, as a content creator, Kylex and I have both taken part, or we're down to take part in the Hotseat save. Perhaps you can tell us a bit about the idea, the save itself, and what we can expect from it moving forward.
Well, I mean, I was looking at a lot of stuff on YouTube, and not just YouTube really, just Twitch as well. And I don't know, there's a lot of people doing a lot of the same thing, and I wanted to try and do something different, maybe combine some of the bigger YouTubers, some of the smaller ones, maybe give some of the smaller guys a bit of a boost, and give something for the new guys, the older guys, shall I say, the bigger guys, something where they could have just something a little bit different. So the hot seat save is basically a shared save. So we took over a club at random, which ended up being a club called Prayense, who were in the Portuguese National Championship Group D, which is the lowest playable league in standard FM in Portugal. It's split into 4 groups, 71 teams in total. So you get 3 promotion slots, 71 teams. But we have a season each, so we get 1 season each. We manage the club in whatever way we manage it. So you could leave it in financial ruin. You can sell off all the best players. You can, sign Messi on 900,000 a week and just bankrupt the club within a day. And then after your season is done, you then hand the save over to the next creator. The idea behind that mostly is that you're then introducing your subs and your viewers to new content creators and vice versa. I think a lot of content creators can sometimes maybe as well just get a little bit despondent. So they'll look at their viewing figures and they'll sort of go, fuck me, that's not doing too great. But by then having that surge then gives them that little bit of confidence sometimes. And that, I think that's going to help. So I mean, the opening save for me with Prayense actually drew in quite a few people, and then it slightly dipped off. I think I was having issues with my sound at the time.
Right.
And then obviously the next guy took over, which was Kyle, and he got a few views, and I know that some of my viewers went to watch him. I actually had a couple of people DM me saying, you know what, this is actually really good. Kyle's a quality bloke. I'd never heard of him. Which is, that's the kind of thing I was trying to achieve, getting more people involved in it. But that is, so I mean, I'm kind of shifting off here. So it's 1 season each on the same save. If you get fired, the season reverts, goes to the next manager, and then I guess we could always, I haven't really set this in stone yet, but I suppose if you get fired, you can always go to the back of the queue and have another bite of the cherry. But that is it. It's just seeing how each team or each person takes the team on, and the challenges, the mostly unknown challenges that team then leaves you with. So
I've never heard of anything like it. I think it's an awesome idea. As soon as I heard about it or read about it, I forget how I found out about it now, but the fact that it's just so different. Like how many names have you got down for it roughly? Was there something like 14, 15?
There was 15 down there. We had 15 originally. One of the guys, I think he said he.
I think it was inverted wingbacks, wasn't it? She because she's in the Bid Stack Cup, so she said she'd have to drop out.
Yeah, she wasn't 100% sure if she had the time to do it, which is fair enough. I mean, I'd rather someone say to me, early on that they're interested, and then say, look, I'm not 100% sure. I've said to her that, if she does find that she's got the time, we can always fit her in at the end anyway. I think that the 14-15 mark is probably, I mean, we've got 2 weeks each to get our stuff done, which I think is probably enough to get a season in. And I think 14-15 creators for that, so that's 30 weeks. I mean, that seems about right. I mean, we could probably, if there's any creators listening and they want to get involved, and obviously they can let me know, but I think they need to be capped at about 20 this year. But if it's successful and people want to do it, then next year we can run it again with a different club. We put it to a public vote. I think this year I randomised 3 teams and we put it to public vote. Prayense won this time round. But I mean, we can always set up the first one with a stream, or obviously YouTube Premiere is a thing now. We can always do that, and then that gets more people involved, getting more people interacted, and I think it's a fantastic community save.
And I think as well, it helps with the staleness of other people's saves as well. Because sometimes you can be stuck in a long-term save that you don't want to stop playing, but just fancy something a bit different. So, just having, a couple of weeks playing with a different team and knowing that it's not got to go on forever.
Yeah, just breaks up the monotony.
Keeps it fresh.
You might find it helps you as well. You may sort of look at that and go, you know what, I've got these players here, and some of them are similar to mine, but if I play them this way, they work a bit better.
Yeah, and I mean, I might sign Mangina at some point as well.
The legend that is Old Greg.
It's so different. And do you know what I think? You're talking about next year. You could even, there's so many different things you could do, but rather than picking another club next year, you can of course start with a club, but you give the manager that takes it on free reign. Like if he or she decides to join a different club, like it's that story, rather than this one's a story about a club. The next one could be a story about the manager, but a multi-manager journeyman would be like really interesting. And then if someone decides to just sod it, I'm off to Portugal or wherever.
Yeah, in all fairness, it isn't only about the club; it is about the manager.
Because
even though it's separate managers, that we all stick with the same guy.
Yes.
You mean
Carlos
Quentas?
Calcias Quentas. That's
Calcias Quentas, which translates in Portuguese to hot pants.
Yeah.
Our 7 foot 151 kilo manager with the giant orange afro. Yeah,
he's an interesting looking chap, certainly.
Napoleon Dynamite is who he was based on.
Loosely, yeah.
Very loosely.
Oh, I didn't put two and two together until you said that, and yes, that's exactly what it looks like. So where's the save now? Obviously, you've had it, Kegman, Kylex. You've had it and just finished.
I've passed it on to Shane Gibson, so he's got it at the minute, and he better not sell Mangina. I know he's had a bit of a fire sale, but Mangina's he's gonna have a stand named after him. That guy.
I mean, I can tell you what the current sort of run list of managers is. So
yeah, go for it.
Obviously, it went with Kyle. Now it's with Shane Gibson. It's going to be RJ-Plays after that. Then it's Sammy Duda. Then it's Sefian. Then it's Bobby G Gaming. Then it's Juan on Juan, who I need to speak to actually, because I saw him saying he's doing no more YouTube videos, which will. I don't know if he's switched to Twitch, maybe, but I don't know. I'll have to speak to him about it. It may be changing his channel. I don't know.
No, he has. He's changed. All he's done is he's gone back to. He's reverted back to his very old channel.
Right.
He used to do vlogs and stuff, and then he moved on. He actually made a channel for his what's the word? His channel name, like the one-on-one channel.
Right.
And then now he's gone back to his original one. So he's basically putting everything in the same channel rather than having that channel and that channel for Football Manager.
Which is fair enough then. Fair enough.
He is still doing it, yeah.
Well, after Juan on Juan, we have Fryman 7. Then it's Captain Goodspeed. And then we've got Moochy. And then it's Kahuna, Butley, Boxter Butley, Murph FM, and then obviously, if there is time for her and she wants to get involved, IWB, Inverted Wingbacks.
It's a good list.
It's not a bad list. It's not a bad list. It's a good mix as well. Of I mean, obviously, I think the biggest name on there is Captain Goodspeed at around about. I think he's got 6.5k subs. I think Bobby G, I think, might be the next one at about 1.5. And then obviously, like I say, you've got some of the smaller guys on there. I think RJ's quite new to it, so that's going to be a bit of a boost for him, hopefully. Then you got like the middle ground guys like myself, and then you got the low tier scum like Kyle, and yeah, I mean, it's all good.
I think it'd be really, really interesting to see, like, as this develops and as we get sort of into the new year, for people to sort of feedback regarding how they've noticed a change or otherwise in their channel, and viewers, subs and what have you, based on, you talked earlier on, Kegman, about introducing the next manager as you see it, and I wonder how many people will follow the journey from one person to the next. And it'd be interesting for anyone that's relatively new to YouTube that will say, as taking part in this, it's boosted them 15% viewers or something like that. It would be interesting if at the end of it there's some success story as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the other things I want this to achieve as well, so like with obviously the newer guys, is that, say for example, obviously we'll take Goodspeed for example. Say one of his 6,500 subs sort of goes, you know what, actually I quite like the premise of this. I'm going to go to the very start. At some point, he might come across content creator. It might even be me, because I'm fairly uncouth. He might come across a content creator that he's not a fan of, or he or she is not a fan of, should I say? But then, hopefully, they would then give that guy some feedback. I mean, this is something that it's something that really doesn't really wind me up, but it does upset me a little bit. So, like, you'll see maybe sometimes that your first video will get, say, I don't know, 500 views, and then your next video on it will get 40. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, why has that dropped off by 460 views? Why is that? But you don't know. No one's turned around and said, look, by the way, mate, your audio is a bit shit, or maybe you need to cut in a little bit more, show a bit more of the club finances. You don't know. It could be anything. But by having that there, especially for the new guys, there's a guy I work with who recently started playing FM, a guy called This Is It FM. I'll give him a little bit of a shout out, nothing too much. But I've been trying to give him... I don't want him to take my viewers, Christ. No, I've been saying to him, right, so I've watched his videos recently. I'm a little way in. I prefer to binge watch my videos when I do it. But I said to him, look, right, you need to up your volume. For you talking, you need to up volume. I've got my phone... I was watching one earlier on, and my phone was on full volume, and I could barely hear the guy. And so I literally said to him in a comment, look, I enjoyed the video because it was good. It was a club that he's passionate about, which always helps as well. I think if you're a content creator, you've got a club that you're passionate about, definitely do a save on them because you're going to be more invested in that and it's going to show. But I just wanted to say to him, look, great video, but I had to strain to hear you, and hopefully he's taken it on board, and then in his next video he's going to go, right, I'm going to up the volume on this, and that's something I want people to do on this, especially with the other content creators as well. Because I've gone back, I've watched, I've said to you, Kyle, that I prefer to binge watch anyway. I've started watching your videos again now, so I'll watch this week's videos, I'll wait till about halfway through next week and I'll start watching them again. And I'm commenting on the videos, and if there's anything I've got to criticise, I will criticise it, and I'll try to do it in a constructive way, and I'll say, not being funny, mate, I use sound as a big thing, because I'm always worried about the sound quality with my videos, because I get told quite a lot my sound quality is off, and I try my absolute fucking best to get it sorted out. But if they just said that, and then you go, right, okay, I'll look back at that. Oh yeah, it was a little bit fuzzy actually. What can I do? And then you'll play the settings, and the next video is better quality. It's just, hopefully when the creators do that, they can do that and say, look, maybe you need to put a noise suppression gate on your microphone, because then you're not picking up the background. Anything like that would be just fantastic. That's what I want this to achieve, so that everyone gets better and everyone just continues to grow.
I think it's such a great idea for many reasons, and rather than just hitting dislike and then moving on and never watching again, like why did you dislike it? But I suppose maybe the people that just hit dislike and move on aren't capable of leaving that feedback constructively, and it would just sound like, I don't like your face or something, like you want to... I can't do anything about that, but what was the video like,
I mean, obviously you guys can't see it currently, but I mean, if I don't like my face, I can just put this on my head, and you'll be able to see this in a little while. With my green screen, it's ideal, because then you can't see me. I can just turn the microphone off even. I mean, the microphone, maybe the microphone too, the headset. Camera.
I don't like your face or your voice, but the video was great, yeah.
Yeah, if you could just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, it'd be brilliant, yeah.
Let me watch the match, please. Okay, perfect. Well, I can't wait to take part, and I'm enjoying watching them. Just like you, Kegman, I like to binge watch them anyway myself, so it's nice to, every weekend, load up YouTube and there's some good content to watch, and I really hope that the viewers stick with it and watch it to the end.
Yeah. Cheers.
So the next part of the episode is our social shout-out, so I'm going to pass over to my co-host Kylex, who's going to run you through the social shout-outs for this week.
Okay, guys, so as you would know if you've been watching the show before, the social shout-out section is for people who are putting the hashtag AFM show tag in their tweets, and we will give them a little shout-out on the show for a number of reasons. First, it's their information, and secondly, it helps them to grow. If you hear their names on other people's things. So the first one we've got is Super Penguin, who is an avid user of the AFM show hashtag. He was on last time. And he says, well, it had to end sometime. 20 games unbeaten in all competitions before a disappointing 3-0 loss to Harrogate Town in the FA Cup first round. So there's
good run.
Yep. He had a good run. So that's awesome. Well done, Super Penguin. And the second one we've got, and the last one, is from Shane Gibson, who, as we've spoke about the Hotseat challenge or the Hotseat save, he's the guy who's got it at the moment. and he's just put on his, "Hey guys and girls, I unfortunately won't be uploading a video from the takeover series of Bury FC because I have been busy with another project at the moment, but hopefully we'll see episode 2 next week." I wonder what that project might be.
Not a fucking clue.
So that's it for our social shout-outs this week, guys. Don't forget, if you want to feature in the social shout-outs, anything you want, hashtag AFM show in the tweets, and we will do our best to read it out.
So before we end the episode, I want to just go around everyone so people can talk about where we can be found, our social links, etc. So as it's polite and as you're our guest this week, Kegman, where can people find you online?
On the street corner. No, you can find me on Twitch, you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Twitter. All KegmanPlays. That's all you got to do. Type in KegmanPlays on those, and you'll find me.
That's nice and simple. Have you got different content on all three? Is it? Do you stream one thing?
Well, on Twitter I talk bollocks. And on Twitch I've got I do an Inter Miami save on a custom database on Twitch. I have been streaming making custom kits on Twitch as well, if you want to catch that on there. Obviously the Bidstack FM Cup games are on Twitch too. On the YouTube channel there is the Motorsport Manager Fire 2018 mod save, as well as the Journeyman, the European Journeyman we're doing, which is currently at Newry City AFC in Northern Ireland.
Busy. That's
awesome.
That's a lot of stuff.
Go and check him out, guys.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely do. Kylex, where can people find you?
Same as always, Twitter, Kylex8FM, and on Twitch and YouTube, it's KylexFM. I just want to quickly say as well, just very quickly, I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching my YouTube series at the minute. It's been an absolute phenomenal response, like over 500 views on both of my first 2 videos. So if anyone's listening, thank you very much.
And it's worth watching. Tell the people what it's called.
Power to the Cables.
Good name.
Puns intended.
Pun central. Good name. Good show. It's definitely worth watching. And 500 views per episode is fantastic, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
I'm on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch. That's the thing I'm not on. I'm on Twitter is what it's called. I'm on Twitter. It's you lot talking about Twitch. What's going on?
Twitch.
Good point. What is Twitch? What we're talking about? So I'm on Twitter and I'm on YouTube. Nice and simple at FM Moochy. And my full-time save should be starting this weekend. I try to get a video out every day, but because of real life scheduling conflicts and database issues, it means that my White Leaf non-league to legend is going to start probably on Monday, this coming Monday rather than last weekend. So bit of a delay, but we'll get there eventually.
Looking forward to seeing that as well.
Likewise.
Thank you, chaps. Very kind. Yeah, do you know, it was interesting because we've all had slightly different I suppose, degree of success regarding contacting our local clubs. Obviously, Kegman, earlier on, you said that you just didn't get a reply.
No, he's a cunt.
Simply, beep. I didn't get anything back from the club, but I got quite a good response from the players, which is how I've been able to get hold of like stats, preferred positions, nationalities, ages, etc.
That's always helpful.
But I got nothing from the club. But Kylex, you've gone. Well, I've
gone
opposite
full,
end of the spectrum.
Full board. Yeah, they've been absolutely brilliant. Prescott Cables. They've literally, directors have been involved, fans have been involved, players have been involved. Absolutely fantastic. Like, they're just basically full on. Anything I need, just ask and they'll do their best to accommodate it.
It's fantastic. I mean, I can only hope that saves like that will
take off
open,
big time.
and broaden the horizons of other clubs. Like, surely it's free advertising for clubs that are getting a few hundred people a week. Any one of us will potentially have a video, like one episode, that will be seen by more people than when actually go to one of the games. So how can that not be a good thing?
Well, yeah, and they've said, they've said that they'll try and sort out a couple of times when I can go in the programme and talk about my save, and I've been invited down to training a couple of times. It's just literally anything I want, they try their best. If they can accommodate it, They'll
you
do
know
it.
you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do genuinely as well. Is when you next time you have a really like bad result, see if you can get them in the changing room and just berate them.
I would be able to do that. They would let me do it. Yeah, they'd let me do it.
Just do it anyway, and then stockpile the footage and just roll it out next time you lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show you kicking a shoe at someone. I don't know.
Yeah, hair dryers,
Yeah.
pizza in someone's face. Yeah, all the.
Make a joke about it. Actually, bring in like a couple of hair dryers. Right, I'm going to give you the hair dryer treatment. Just.
Yeah. The players and everyone at the club, but the players are awesome. They've done the outros for me and everything, which you'd see at the end of my videos if you watch all the way to the end. Just saying.
Yeah.
I've got outros from the players saying like and subscribe and all that. Like it's just they've just gone above and beyond, especially from what I've heard from other creators as well. Like that, a lot of them, like you said, some of them have had a little bit of feedback saying, yeah, you can do it, but we can only do so much. Some of them have literally been ignored. So I think I've been very, very lucky, and I just hope I can make the most of it.
Yeah, I think so. It's going super well so far, mate. So hopefully it will continue to be a success, and I'm sure it will. So that'll do it for another episode of the Absolute FM show. Thanks for watching. It's been great having Kegman. Kegman, thank you for joining us this week. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Links to everyone's channels, etc., will be in the description box. So make sure, please check all three of us out. If you're listening to this because you know one of us, check the other two guys out. It's all content worth watching. So thanks for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.
See you later, guys.
See ya.